Hi, everybody. This is a little demo of how to create a correlation matrix in Excel. So you're going to have this exact data set for your work, and this is the complete data set from the one that we used last class. And I had just selected a sample of 80 for our a sample of 30 for our last example. So in order to create a correlation matrix, you need to activate a tool called Analysis Tool Pack in Excel. So within Excel, go to File, and from the menu, go way down to the bottom left and select Options. Here's my cursor, here's Options. And when you get to Options, go to this Add-ins tab toward the bottom, go to Add-ins, and you'll see that you'll have a list here of inactive applications or disabled applications or other things like that. You'll want to find this Analysis Tool Pack and activate it. You'll select it. So if I was going to select it, if mine was down here, maybe I would select it and then I would just hit OK and it would push this up to the active menu. Hopefully this will go smoothly for you. And so once that's done, then you're going to see on your data menu, when you go to your data tab on the top, you're going to see your analysis tool pack listed. It might be hidden here. You might have to click on this arrow. And mine is usually here. Let me see where it is right at this moment. And I think maybe this is it. Okay, and this is it. It's just appearing here. You might have to look for it a little bit. It should be on the right side of your menu, just like this is. Okay, once you have that active, then all you have to do is select your data. You can do this either way. You can either activate this and go down to correlation and select OK. And then in this top cell, you'll want to select your data. And I'm not going to select all of my data because then you'll have all the answers. I'm just going to select these main variables just for an example. You're going to use all your data. So I'm just doing part of my data so that you don't see exactly what the correlations are. So I'll select 25. Actually, I'll select 30 individuals, just the people who happen to be the top 30 on my list. And you also might want to choose where to put it. I always like it to appear in the same worksheet. This box is checked. That means it's going to open up a new tab. I don't want it to do that. I just wanted to put it right here in a cell that I tell it to put it in. In this case, I'm going to go way back up to the top here and put it right here and hit OK. And now we have our correlation matrix. You already learned about that. You can see that all these variables are pretty strongly correlated. We don't know if these are significant correlations. I suppose they probably are, but that is not something that we are told when we work in Excel. So what we're going to do is look up the cutoff points. And then we're going to identify the variables that had significant correlations with academic performance. Academic performance is our last variable, so it will be the column 7 variable here. And so we're going to check which of these in particular are significant. I suspect all of them are, but let's go ahead and get our cutoff point. We're going to still use our degrees of freedom is still going to be the number of pairs minus 2. And in this case, I used 30 pairs. So my degree of freedom is going to be 28. You are going to use all the pairs, whatever that is. And so your degree of freedom will be much, much higher. So looking up our critical value, we'll just use the same tool that we've been using. Here we'll select our R value. And the significance, we'll just look at 0.05 as always. And let's put, for me, my degrees of freedom 28. Of course, you'll use different degrees of freedom. And we discover that my cutoff point, let me just make sure it reset properly. I had a problem with this earlier, and I'm actually going to enter all of that again, just in case. Sometimes it was a little wonky during class the other day. Okay, and so we have, I think we'll use the two-tailed value. We have a 0.3809. And so my R alpha, it's using an uppercase R. In this case, I'm only using correlation, so I'm using that lowercase r, and that's what it was. And so in this example, from this example, all of the predictors were statistically significant at the 0.05 level. And that's how you'll be doing this problem. That's it.